Click record. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Sue Brooke. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm really excited about this event. And the reason is I haven't done it in a long time, and it's one of my favorite things to teach because it's a lot of it's my story. So, those of you that don't know me, I'm going to give you some fun facts about myself. First of all, I have been a business owner for many years. I don't have a picture, but my very first real business was a ballroom dance studio back in Kearney, Nebraska, a million years ago. I actually went to school to be a teacher. Well, my claim to fame, though, is later I opened a school. It was called SCV Tutors first and then Care Learning Academy. This is some pictures from my school. We had an after school program, we had a private school, we had summer camps, we had tutoring. I had a lot of kids, a lot of families, a lot of employees. I had two locations in Southern California. I'm from Nebraska originally, like a little town called Mayberry, just like Mayberry. It wasn't called Mayberry, it was Geneva, Nebraska. Anyway, that this was my business that I was really busy. And when I had that business, I the one of the co-founders of Alignable was speaking at this big business owner event on the Queen Mary in Long Beach, and that's when I first heard about Alignable. Just to give you a little heads up. Well, um, I sold my business in 2015, and in 2017, I met a sister on Ancestry. This is the sister that I met, and this is the day we met, and we didn't plan the outfits. We showed up like that the first time we ever met. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. And so she lives in Northern California up by Santa Rosa, where my good friend Sherry, who's my co-host today, lives. And that's where I met my friend Sherry, is when I moved up to Northern California, up in the Santa Rosa area. So while I was up there, I was starting a new business because I had sold my school and I was starting a new business, which was, um, it was business coaching, marketing, anything to help small business owners. My heart and passion and soul and everything that I do and my purpose in my life is to help small business owners. So I just started going out networking and I started meeting people up there. And I'm going to be telling you how I did this as an introvert. Another fun fact about myself is when the pandemic hit, I had started this mastermind, this virtual mastermind. Well, Alignable called me out of the blue and they said, uh, how are you doing with your business? I'm like, why are you calling me? And I was kind of surprised. And I ended up telling him what I was doing. And I got to talk to the co-founders and I told them all these ideas because back then there wasn't anything on Alignable. It was a advice column is about all it was. And so they said, can we hire you to help us? So over the past 5 years, up until a couple of weeks ago, I have been traveling the country in my motorhome. That's a picture of my map. I have been to all those places by myself, all across the country, meeting Alignable members and small business owners. So anyway, so I did that for the past 5 years, and during that time last year, I released one of my newest book called Networking with Heart, which is a lot of the things I'm going to teach today. So that's kind of a fun fact about myself. So when I moved to Northern California as an introvert, I literally had to start from scratch. I didn't know a darn person. I barely knew my new sister that I just met. I went out there and started networking. And this training today is really going to be a lot of the things that I did to almost become a celebrity in the town that I was up there in the Santa Rosa area and Sonoma County area as an introvert. So I'm going to go through. You might want to take some notes here. I used to have a sheet that went along with this, but I don't this time. So just take some notes. Step one, I'm just going to give you from top down. I'm going to start at the top, that like in order. I like to go things in order. So the first one is you got to get ready to network, whether it's in person or it is online. It doesn't matter. You have to get ready. So you don't just go out networking without having a foundation and things set. Okay, the very, very first thing you want to do when you go networking to make it way easier and less intimidating is figure out who you want to actually meet. You don't have to meet everybody. That's the thing. People go to these networking events with 1,000 people there. Like in Santa Rosa, I know there was this huge chamber that had hundreds of people would show up, and it was so intimidating. But you don't have to meet everybody. But I want you to think about this. And this actually has to do with when you meet anyone out there. I say this, every person you meet is a contact. You make contact with someone. I don't care if it's at a networking event or in a line at the coffee shop. You meet somebody, okay? Even in online in a Smart Connect, you're going to meet someone and they're going to fall into either one of these buckets. They're either going to fall in that little bucket, which I call the prospect bucket. What that means is that one person that you meet, that contact that you make with that one person, maybe there's a little tiny chance because of the little bucket, they could be a prospect that could turn into a customer. Maybe. Okay. Doesn't sound very solid, does it? I like the big purple bucket. Purple's my color, obviously. I've got everything's purple and even in my hair, but I like the big purple bucket that I call the referral bucket. To be really honest with you, pretty much anyone you meet that you build a relationship with could end up being a referral partner. Even if they're not a customer, they can tell everybody about you. That's what I want to do. And that's why on Alignable, I talked about this event really will teach you how to be really successful on Alignable as well. So I love this graphic here. Now, I do a whole training on this, but just a really short thing. I give the same example a lot just because it kind of hits home. You have to know who your ideal customer is, okay? First of all, your ideal customer. This is a screenshot of what it looks like on Alignable on your profile, where you write down a couple of sentences that tell people who your ideal customer is. And then these little blue tags, you have to choose that so you can tell Alignable who your ideal customer is. And the reason you want to do that is so that Alignable can go out and help you find them, and so other people can find you. All right. So this example, I love this example. I give it all the time, and is about my friend Guy Kelly, who lives in Santa Clarita, California, and has a pet boarding facility. She boards any kind of animal, actually, not just dogs, but anything. She has a giant tortoise, like giant now. I don't know where that one came from, but anyway, she has two really distinct customers. One is obviously a pet owner, okay, that needs a place to leave their pets for any length of time. But the big one that Alignable helps her with specifically is get help. She actually consults with people in the pet industry. So she wants to find other people that are in the pet industry that she can help them grow their businesses. So that's a really good one. So on Alignable, she chooses the tags for kennel owners and pet business startups so that she can, because Alignable doesn't ask us if we own a pet. Now, the other one, the one that she really loves, is her referral partner. So her referral partner is obviously a business who all of their customers has a pet. Every single one of their customers. What is a business that all of their customers owns a pet? Well, she loves veterinarians because all the customers own a pet. They're not competitors in any way. In fact, veterinarians get asked for referrals for pet boarding facilities and vice versa all the time. So you got to know these two things. I do this training, Ideal Customers, Referral Partners. I will give you a link to a recording, but I'm doing this live tomorrow. So come tomorrow if you can. So, but I will give you a recording as well. We're not going to dig into that today, but it's super duper important. Okay. Next, once you know who you want to meet, you can easily figure out where they hang out. So this is another thing. When you're an introvert and you go networking, you think or you even think about networking, it's so overwhelming to think you got to go everywhere and you have to be on every social media channel and you have to do all this stuff. No, you do not have to do that. It's too overwhelming, especially for people like us. So you want to figure out, if you know who you want to meet, you know where they hang out. Okay. If you are someone that wants to meet big CEOs of big multi-million-dollar companies, you might want to go to LinkedIn. If you want to meet people that, I don't know, regular people, you can target people in different places on Facebook. If you want to meet business owners, go to Chambers of Commerce, Alignable. Obviously, if you want to meet business owners, go there. If you're, so you got to figure out where the people hang out and go there. Okay, that's really, really important. Figure out where they are. You don't have to be everywhere. All right. Now, step two, once you get that figured out and you know exactly who you're going to target, I want you to think about this. I love this. I created this funnel and I call it your business relationship funnel. Now, I'm going to go through all the steps to get to the bottom. So, here's what I want your mind to think about. Every person you meet, like I said before, whoops, come on. Every person you meet, like I said before, is a contact. So you meet somebody, you know, whoever, wherever, or whoever that is, you meet somebody, and they are a contact. I don't care if it's in line at the coffee shop or someone introduces you. You're putting them in your funnel, okay? All right. So like today, I found out that that Dorian, who's in the class right now, is in the same town as me. I made contact with him. It's like, okay, he's close by. Now I know him. He's in my funnel. I'm in his funnel, right? Now, do you ever meet somebody and you go, God, I really like this person? Like I've been at networking events where you feel a connection with someone. I call it a connection. You make a connection, you go, God, I like this person. I want to get to know them a little bit better. Okay. So they move a little further down the funnel. Now, you might meet someone that's really maybe an extrovert, and they're like, hey, you need to buy my stuff, and here's my credit card, my credit card, my business card, and you should call me. And then you go home and you get 15 messages from them, and you're like, oh no, I don't want anything to do with this person. They fall out of the funnel. That's why I have little slits there. All right, so you go to connections. All right, the next one, you want to set up the one-to-one meeting, a one-to-one meeting, because you can't build a relationship and a trusted relationship, especially by meeting someone for 2 minutes at a networking event. So as soon as you feel a connection, those people that you feel a connection with, that's when you want to say, let's set up a one-to-one meeting right now. So then you go into coffee, it's less intimidating, and you can really dig in to see if this is a relationship that can be built. Now, once you meet one-to-one with them, sometimes you might meet someone like this lady Sharon that I used to meet. And I don't know why I met with her more than once, because every single time I would meet her, all she wanted to do was sell me her stuff. And I would start out and say, "Oh, Sharon, how you doing?" You know, and she would just start going. She didn't even care anything about me. She never asked anything about me. All she wanted me to do was buy her stuff and try to get on her team. And it was so icky feeling that she fell out of my funnel. I don't even, anyway, some people are going to do that, which is fine because you learn a lot about people one-to-one. But the people that you really go, wow, I really like this person, and it's starting to turn into a trusted relationship, that's where magic happens. And that's where you meet more often and you get to know each other, and you find out who each other's ideal customers and referral partners are, and they become referral partners, and a lot of them will become friends, like my friend Sherry. We met and I remember we were at a Panera Bread, we were talking, we just totally connected, and now we work together, we're referral partners, we've been best friends for a long time. So some people are going to turn into that. So kind of keep this funnel in mind as you're networking, and you want to keep filling it. You want to keep things going and flowing in that funnel. Okay, how do you fill it? A lot of people will assume, okay, well, how do I fill that funnel? Well, let's talk about networking first, okay? Now, I know that this probably stresses people out, especially if you're an introvert, that you're going to these events and there's all these people and you're like, I don't know who to talk to. And so you look around and you see different people talking. So let's say that you went to this event and you saw these people here. You looked across the way. Who would you go talk to? I'm going to give you my very, very best introvert tip. I always did this. I would look for the other introverts in the room because they're very easy to spot. So I'm sure you can look at this and say, who's the introvert in the picture? Well, it's that guy with the checkered shirt there who's got his hands in his pocket. He looks bored. He's not talking to anybody. Who do you think I'm going to go talk to? I'm going to beeline straight over to him because he's an introvert too. Now, here's my tips though. There's certain things you want to do. Don't be like that the guy I said comes up and starts, getting in your face. He's going to run away and hide and start crying or something. It would be terrible. So I'm an introvert, so I would go find the other introverts. But here's what you got to think about. You got to begin by building the relationship. Okay? Go up to him and show interest in him. Make it about them. It's like, hey, I love your shirt, whatever. What brings you here today? I know there's a lot of people here. Just talk to them. Ask and say, what brought you here today? Get them to talk to you, make friends. I will tell you right now that other introverts can turn out to be your best referral partners and your best friends. All right. So go find the other people that are just like you. Now, I'm going to get detailed in this for a second. So, let me tell you the story. So, this is Dave. So, I was at a Panera Bread. It was a Chamber of Commerce mixer in Roder Park, California. That's exactly where this picture was taken. And I met Dave. Everybody knew him, and he was so nice to me. Like, he came up to me, so that was good. He probably knew my tip of going and talking to introverts. And we just hit it off. I just really thought he was interesting, and so I took this picture. And so this became my system as an introvert. This made it so easy to really build relationships with people. So this is what I did. I took this picture, and then I have an app on my phone. I'll tell you all about that later, but I have an app on my phone where I can take the picture, I can upload it into the app, and I can create what will become a physical greeting card that I can send to him with this picture in the physical mail, not an email, the actual mail. So I would do this all the time. So I got my phone out and I can type in or voice text a message, it prints it out, and I always say pretty much the same thing. Hey Dave, it was so awesome meeting you at the Chamber Mixer. I'd love to come by your office to learn more about your business. Did you see that? I, did you see my little trick here? I did not say, like a lot of people did to me, oh, I'd love to come by your office and show you how I can help you with your marketing. Oh my gosh, nobody's going to want you to come. It's like, I don't want to be sold to. So I was like, hey, I want to learn more about your business. You're so interesting. I would love to come by and learn more about you. Do you see what I did there? And I always said, call me when you get this and let's set up some time. Have a great day. So this is the card. So he got this card. He opened the envelope later in the week when the mail came. He opened the envelope. He saw this picture and went, oh, yeah, I remember that girl, Sue. And then he opens it up and he reads this. And on the back of the card actually has all my contact information. So what do you think he does? He called me. And I'm going to tell you at the end how this one little card that I sent to him pretty much changed my life and the relations and the relationships that I built. So I'll get to that in a second. But I want to show that was my system. I'd go meet somebody, I'd take a picture, I'd send a card, and then guess what? They would call me. I didn't have to call them. So they would always call me to set up time. Now, once you meet someone like Dave, okay, like I did, he called me, I set up the one-to-one meeting and I went to his office. So you want to set up those one-to-one meetings right away. So if you are meeting someone, whether it's online in a Smart Connect or at a business event, just get your phones out and set up time to meet. Don't ever say, I'll call you. Give me a call. Let's set up some time later. No, do it right then because you're not going to do it. Trust me. How many people say that they're going to do that and then they never do, including us? Okay. So here's my tips. Number one, when you're meeting, I got a few different things. Your intention is very, very important. Remember when I told you about the lady Sharon that used to come and just want to sell me stuff? Her intention meeting with me was obvious. She didn't have to say it. I felt it. She wanted to sell me. She had no interest in me whatsoever as a person. She wasn't going to help me. She wanted her business. But my intention is always to build a relationship, always. And here's something, I'm going to tell you a story that's going to blow your mind. First of all, be genuinely interested in them. Okay. You cannot fake that. I promise you, if you pretend that you're genuine and you're not, and your intentions to get a sale or whatever, they're going to know. Just know your energy. I don't care if it sounds woo woo, but it's true. Be genuinely interested. They're going to feel it. So I'm going to tell you the story, and I always put this picture to remind me to tell the story because it's this is such a powerful thing. So I was listening to this podcast. I wish I could find it and find who told this story, but I remember it's changing everything for me. This person told a story of this small group of people who wanted to do an experiment along these lines, okay? So they got this group of people that were going to get on an airplane, just a really short flight, like from LA to Vegas or something like that, okay? Short flight. And they said, "Okay, you're going to get on this flight and we are going to do it. We want you to do something. We're going to seat you, make sure you're seated next to someone you don't know. And for the entire flight, you're going to talk to that person and you're going to ask them questions about them. Like, where are you from? What do you do? You know, blah, blah, blah. Tell me about your family, whatever it is. Ask them questions. Be interested in them. If they try to turn the tables and make it about you, you have to turn it back around and make it about them. So that's what happened for the whole entire trip. And when they got off the plane, this people doing the experiment took the people they were talking to that didn't know about the experiment, the people seated next to them that were getting asked the questions, and they took them all separately and they all asked them the same question and pretty much got the same answer from all of them. They said, "How was your flight? Did you get to sit next to who'd you sit by? You know, did you get to know anybody that you sat by?" And they all said something like this: "Oh my God, the person I sat by was the most interesting person I ever met in my life. The most interesting person I ever met in my life." And they said, "Oh wow, what was our name?" They didn't know. Crickets. They didn't know anything about them. How on earth could they be the most interesting person they ever met and they don't even know anything about them? It's because they were interesting because that person was interested in them. They made them feel good. They made them feel like, wow, someone really wants to get to know me. Do you understand the power of that? It's Try it. Just try it. Next time you meet with someone, make it all about them, not about you. I'm telling you, it'll change everything. I love that story. Now, the other thing you're going to do when you're meeting one to one, I always want you to find out these two things about the people that you're building the relationship with. As soon as you can, figure out who you can connect them with. All right. Who do they want to be introduced to? Who is uh, their ideal customer or a referral partner? Find that out. And if you can think, oh my gosh, I know someone to connect you to, and you can start connecting them with people that will help them in their business. Trust me when I tell you, they're going to want to talk to you all the time. The second thing, figure out how you can become referral partners. Well, I'm going to go. Okay, so yeah, let me tell you a story about that. So I remember when I moved to Northern California, and I'm starting my brand new business, which is business coaching and marketing, like I said. And I wanted to meet business owners. So what do you think I did? I went to every single business networking event I could possibly go to. And especially like at that time, I wanted to meet women business owners. It's different now, but I wanted to target a specific time in my life business owners. So I went where they were. Well, anyway, when I first started going backwards a little bit, when I started my tutoring business, I didn't have any money. I had been married. I was in a bad divorce and a really bad car accident, and I had lost pretty much everything. I didn't have any money, and I started my tutoring business with no marketing money. So my way of marketing was I knew I had to get out there and meet people and network. So I remember going to so many networking events. And one day I was getting ready to go in and I said, you know what? I'm going to play a game with myself today. Every person that I meet tonight, I'm going to try to figure out how we could refer customers to each other. So I went to this networking event, and the first guy that came up to me owned a plumbing company, a commercial plumbing company. He was the owner of that company. And I was like, oh man, how can somebody who owns a tutoring business, I had a tutoring and after school program for kids, and someone who owns a plumbing company, like, how on earth could we possibly become referral partners? Well, it was pretty easy for me to figure it out really quick because I had a school of kids and I knew something about kids. And I asked him this. I said, so Do you happen to have any families with kids that are your customers?" He said, "Are you kidding me? Kids plug up toilets all the time. I get calls all the time. I have a lot of customers that are families with kids." And I'm like, "That's awesome." I knew that's what he was gonna say because I kind of knew that. And so I gave him a whole bunch of tutoring certificates, like free tutoring session certificates, and I said, "Give them out. Give these out to all of your clients as gifts." And I'm telling you, and then he gave me some coupons and things that he wanted me to give to my families, and we became the best referral partners. So isn't that cool? So then I didn't have to really do very much other than answer the phone with people that said, "Oh, my plumber gave me your this card." And I would get customers that way. I did that all the time. So think about that. Now, step 4 is follow up. I really want to spend some time on this because this is what was the scariest thing. People, my business coaches would say, "Sue, the fortune's in the follow up. You have to pick up the phone and you have to call people." And I'm like, "Heck no, I am not doing that. If they might answer the phone, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cold call people." It was scary. so, so here's the thing though. The fortune is in the follow-up, and so I figured out a way to get people to call me, okay? So, here's the bottom line. We're gonna talk several things about follow-up. What do you think the number one reason is people don't come back or hire you again or get back in touch with you, and why won't they refer you? The number one reason is this. First of all, people do business with and refer people they know, like, and trust. We hear that all the time. Sure, know, like, and trust. But the thing that everybody forgets is they actually have to remember you. Okay? So it's like this. I spend a lot of time in Phoenix, Arizona, and I know a lot of people and I network with a lot of people. There's a lot of alignable people there, a lot of alliances there. And if I actually this actually happened. So I met a lot of realtors, right? And actually, Sherry had asked me a few years ago, "Hey, I think I might want to buy a rental property in Phoenix." Well, you got to figure out I knew a lot of realtors. I could have given her 20 million realtors, but the one that I thought of was the one that stayed in touch with me. The one that I had remembered. They sent me something, or they called me, or they stayed in touch with me. So you have to do that. So I thought, well, how can I do this that's not me calling them? Because I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bug anybody. So here's my trick. First of all, I'm going to tell you, just remember this: top of mind means tip of tongue. All right. If someone said, "Sue, do you know a realtor in Marina Valley?" If I was networking here, it'd be whatever realtor I had I remember. But just think of this. How can you be the one that's top of mind? That's the tip of everybody's tongue. So I'm going to give you two things. The first one is this. This is what I do. A long time ago, I decided this. I stopped handing out business cards because where do they go? In a box. I have the biggest plastic bin of business cards you ever saw in your whole life. Never did one darn thing with them. And most people didn't even put their picture on a card. So big tip here, please put your picture on everything. You have to get people to remember your face. They have to remember you. I'm not going to remember who you are if you give me a card with a bunch of words on it. Okay? I don't even have time to read a bunch of words on there. So here's what I did. These were my business cards. They're 5 by 7. I don't have any with me where I'm at right now, but you can see this is exactly what I did. So I created positive quote cards. So the front of the card, I had all these different ones like this. And then the back was like the one on the right hand side, would have had all my contact information, my picture, whatever I wanted to put on there. So here's what would happen. This is so funny. I used to have so much fun doing this. Okay. People would always come up to me and say, "Sue, here's my business card. Can you give me your business card?" And I'm like, "Sure, here, pick one." And I'd lay them out on the table. So people would look at the table, look just like on the screen here. And they're like, "Oh, wow. Oh, can I have this one? Can I have this one? Hey, you guys, come over here." And like everyone in the whole place would come over and take one of these, my positive quote cards with them. And do you know what happens all the time? People still tell me after years of this, tell me they still have my positive quote card on their bathroom mirror or on their refrigerator. I had a guy call me couple years ago that said, Sue, my name's Richard. I'm in Las Vegas. You gave me one of your positive quote cards 4 years ago. At the time he called me, 4 years ago, he goes, do you know what? That's been on my refrigerator. It's meant so much to me. I think about you every day. Like, you guys, this guy thought in a positive way about me every day because he saw this positive quote card and he had to call and tell me that. Is that not like gold right there? I mean, come on. How can you, whatever it is that you do, I actually, oh my God, I have this right here. This is so funny. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is an origami dollar bill. Okay. It's a star. I have another one that's a heart. This lady, I will never, she was in a mastermind group that I was in, and she is a credit card processor, the hardest business to have because I mean, there's so many of them. And when I had a business, every credit card processor would call me all the time. Well, guess what? She handed these out. She would make dollar bills, make an origami shape. She'd do Christmas trees at Christmas, hearts. I have a heart one that I wanted. She did it with a $2 bill. And she gives these out. And I'll just tell you right now that if you need a credit card processor, Barbara in Long Beach is awesome, and you might just get one of these. And guess what? Nobody ever takes them apart, and every one of her clients always has them all over because she gives them out all the time. What can you do? I love my positive book cards. Now, here's another thing. How many of you have read How to Sell Anything to Anybody by Joe Girard? If you have not, take a screenshot, write it down, whatever you need to do, go read this book. It's a short book. It's an easy book to read, and it's a really good story. Joe Girard, this was written many, many moons ago, like way before the internet, long time ago. I think it was in the 70s, okay? But it is so relevant, especially today, I can't even tell you. So I'm going to tell you, I read this book and it changed everything for me. I'll give you the quick tip. So Joe Girard is known as the world's greatest salesman. He was a car salesman in the old days when the proverbial car salesman was kind of a bad word. Okay. Maybe it still is. I don't know. But here's what happened. He got into the car salesman industry and he ended up becoming or holding the Guinness Book of World Records for selling the most cars in a year. He sold almost 1,500 cars in a year and like almost 15,000 in his whole career. Okay, that's a lot of cars. How did he do that? He didn't do it the way other proverbial car salesmen did it. Here's what he did. And he tells a story in there too. He didn't want to be like everyone else. So here's the small part of the story that he did. So every person he met, not just people that came in to look for cars, anywhere. Every person he met, he would get to know them. He'd get to know who their spouse was or their partner, or if they had one. If they had any kids, he'd get their anniversary, he'd get their birthday, he'd get their addresses, he'd learn about them, okay? And guess what he did? He would send a handwritten card in the physical mail, one every single, actually, he did 13 cards a year. I think one every month and one for the birthday or holiday or something like that. And they weren't, I think he didn't really send marketing cards. They were more like thank you cards or happy, Merry Christmas cards or whatever, happy birthday cards. If there was an anniversary, he'd keep track of all of that. He even had to hire people to help him do it because he had so many by the end of that. So just think, every single month you're getting a card from Joe. All right. And your neighbor, maybe they get in a car accident and say, oh my gosh, I have to buy a new car. Who are you going to refer to them? You're going to say, oh my God, you can't go anywhere else. You got to go to Joe. He's the best car. So, oh my God, he's amazing. So at the end of his career, he had a line of people with someone at the door letting people in one at a time to buy a car because they wouldn't buy a car from anyone else. How can you be that person where whatever it is that you sell, you're the only option, the only option? Okay. Read that book. It's a good one. So here's another tip. Please do not forget your past customers. This is the saddest story. I get really sad every time I tell it, but it's so powerful. a lot of people, especially people that sell big things like houses and refrigerators and cars, a lot of those people think, well, those people aren't going to buy a house again for a long time or a car or a refrigerator for a long time, so they just forget about them. Well, here's a story that makes you not do that. First of all, they could be your best referral partners. But let me tell you the story. This guy, he was in some group that I was in. I think it was a Facebook group, and I will never forget this post. He posted this in the group and he said, "I just made the most expensive mistake of my entire career as a realtor." And he said, "I'll never make this mistake again." He said, "Here's what happened." And it was a few weeks after the holidays. He said, "Well, every year I send holiday cards to all my current customers and my prospects, the people that might be a customer. But I have never sent holiday cards to my past customers." Until this year, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go all my files and I'm going to send holiday cards to all the people that I helped buy and sell houses over the years. Well, here's what happened. He opened his mailbox and, oops, come on. That's what he saw. All these cards, all these envelopes with big yellow stickers, "Return to sender, not at this address." And he said, "What the heck?" And he went to the MLS book and he looked up all those addresses and he found out all those people had bought and sold houses with other realtors. And those red circles is how much money he lost in commissionable sales by not staying in touch with his past customers. Oh my God, the hair on my arms I just got the chills again. I hate this story. He lost millions of dollars of commissionable sales. I mean, the sales of the houses and thousands of dollars. Look at that. Lost 7,200, lost 7,000, lost, oh my goodness. So please, you guys, I'm begging you, if you are thinking right now of people you got to get back in touch with, write it down and get in touch with them. I don't care what you do to do that, but don't be this guy. uh, all right. I love this saying, "There can be no greater gift than that of giving one's time and energy to help others without expecting anything in return." This is what I want you to think about. Set yourself apart by helping other people with no intention of getting anything in return. Please do not put the energy out there that you want something from them, because you know what? They're going to feel it. And the more that you help other people, the more you get back. I should have this quote, the Zig Ziglar quote you probably all heard of. If you help enough other people get what they want, what happens? You get what you want. So have this intention, have this mindset. It's kind of innate in introverts anyway. We're all kind of like that. Most introverts are nurturers and givers. So keep this in mind. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I love this quote too, by the way. People will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never, ever, ever forget how you made them feel. And I'm excited because I found this video. I want to make sure. Yeah, it's coming up next. I'll tell you, oh, okay. Oh, give me a second. This is Bruce, and I just found it. I found it this morning, and I can't believe I found this video. So here's the story. I was just moved to Northern California. I set up a networking event. Well, he's the only one that showed up. I was new, and it was like a new event. And well, my sister was there, and then he showed up. And we were talking and everything. And I did what I told you that I did with Dave. I took a picture, and I sent a card. And he posted this on Facebook and everywhere. Watch this.
Hey everyone, Bruce Corkill here. So, you don't see me come on these lives very often, but I wanted to share something with you, and I want to ask you a question. What makes you feel special? Especially around this time of year. I know for me, it's just being around people that I care about and want to be around, and people who support me and I mean in a inspirational way. But something happened to me today, and I got a little notice in my mailbox that I had a package that I needed to pick up. And it's unusual for me because I don't get a lot of gifts or packages unless I've ordered something, but I hadn't ordered anything, so I wasn't expecting anything. So I went to my P.O. box, and sure enough, here was this. So let me share this with you. I met this lady a few weeks ago. Her name's Sue Brooke. You can find her at suebrooke.com. In fact, I've tagged her in this post, and you can look her up that way. But I met her at a business conference here or a business meeting that I go to locally here, and just shared some information back and forth, and we're kind of networking in each other. And she just kind of sent me this little thank you gift in the mail. Total surprise. I had no idea this was coming, but it was very special to me. So I'm letting you know that this was something special that happened to me today. So check this out. I got this little card, and what she did was, I'm not sure how she did this, but she knows what Ariel means to me, my little dog. So she made up this little card. She captured a picture of me and Ariel. This was from last year. And she made this little card for me with Ariel's picture on it, with a nice little thank you note. Thanks for meeting you. So I thought that was very special because, number one, she captured one of my points of interest. That's my little dog, Ariel. You've all seen my post on Ariel. You know what she means to me. But then check this out. Along with it comes a little package of brownies. 2 brownies in here. So now it's a challenge for me because I'm not supposed to be eating these. But hey, folks, it came from something called Send Out Cards. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe if you want to know more about it, get a hold of Sue Brooke. But what a neat little gift. It's unexpected. So from me, Bruce Corkill, to you, Sue, thank you so much for sending that. It was very unexpected. I really appreciate it. Very special. It really touched me today, getting that from you. So from that standpoint, hey, folks, listen, I just wanted to let you know that it was very special to receive that. Hopefully you'll have that opportunity to receive something special yourself, and look forward to hearing and seeing you guys in the future. Thanks for tuning in. But again, just a short video. I feel special today. Got my brownies, got my little cards, and Ariel's a happy camper too. So again, hey, Brooke, Sue, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, folks. If I don't talk to you soon, have a Merry Christmas. Let's all rock 2018. I have a feeling that for the
Okay. All right, I got to get back to my thing here. I think I have to stop the share. I got to share it again. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, that's not what I want. Oops. So what'd you guys think of that? Did that get anybody's heartstrings by any chance? It got mine. I just kind of got a little teary-eyed for a second because I had forgotten about that. So let me get this back up here again. Let me go to the next slide. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, here it comes. So I just want you to know that he posted that everywhere. He told everybody about me. I just wanted to just see how powerful it is to make someone feel special like that. It's like that last thing that I showed you, this one right there. People will never forget how you made them feel. That guy never got packages, never got cards, never got anything. And that little dog, let me just tell you, his Facebook page had 1,000 pictures of that little dog. And that's what I did. I grabbed the cutest picture I could find, put it on a card and sent it to him. And I'm sure, I will bet you $1,000,000 he still has that somewhere because the little dog passed away and I sent him a condolences card later. Okay. Here's, remember that card that I told you about Dave? I sent this card to Dave. He called me and said, "Oh my gosh, Sue, thank you for the card. That was really cool. Come by the office. Yes, I'd love to talk to you." And I went to his office. We had the best 2-hour one-to-one meeting. He was so fun. He had I just learned a lot about him. We totally hit it off. He told me about his pet tortoise he had in his backyard, and just it was great. So we had this great one-to-one meeting, and he's a financial advisor, insurance, that kind of guy. And so we talked a lot, and then I had to go. He had a meeting, I had to go, and he said, "Sue, how can we work together? When can we meet again? I want to meet again." And I had to tell him at that moment that, "I'm sorry, Dave, I don't know because I just found out that my dad has dementia." My younger sister and I, my younger sister lives in Scottsdale. I was in California at the time. My dad, or our dad, was in Nebraska in a little house that he'd lived in for a lot of years, a lot of the years. And we found out that he had dementia. And I said, "Dave, we are leaving tomorrow morning and we have to go figure out what to do with our dad." And Dave got really quiet and said, "Sue, I'm really sorry. it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. I did it with my mom. I'll be praying for you, and just know, just don't worry. When you get back, let me know. So I don't know if any of you have had to deal with that before, but it was the hardest few weeks of my life to move my dad out of his house. And I don't know if any of you have had experience with it, but I came back from the hardest time in my life, and guess what was in my mailbox? This card. This is my favorite picture of my dad and I from back then. I know hair's a little different back then, but he found this picture. He saw it on Facebook, and he put it on a card, and he wrote, "Greetings and welcome home, Sue. Thank you so much for the time together yesterday. I've been keeping you and your dad in my prayers. This is a tough time of transition for both of you. Looking forward to working together." So let me just ask you, who do you think that I send all my referrals to for financial planning? Yep, he still stays in touch with me. He still asks me about my dad, who now lives with my sister in Scottsdale. I go back there in the fall and winter, and so I just want you guys to all think about this. I hope that last video of Bruce and this story will help you understand the power that you have. And as an introvert, I know that I call this networking for introverts, because most introverts are going to do things like this, and this is what's going to set you way apart from anyone else. Okay, so you might want to screenshot this. I will send a reply, but there's a whole bunch of stuff if you want to learn more about different things. If you want to know about the cards, it's down in the bottom right hand corner. Um, Please, you guys, up in the top left hand corner, I'm going to post these links in the chat, and I'm going to have Sherry come on because we have a few minutes to have. I want you to hear some of her heartfelt stories as well, and how she follows up and how she has gotten multi-million-dollar contracts by for her follow-up. But I just put this learnfromsue.com. I'm going to be adding a lot more of my events, recordings and upcoming events. So just go to my website, suebrooke.com, or go to the Learn from Sue, goes to that page. Everyone, just please join the Mastermind with Sue group, because Sherry and I do masterminds every single Friday. They're free and they're amazing. We had a guy come in one day, Joe, who I haven't talked to in a long time, but he came in one day and said that he came to this event and started doing the things that I was talking about just now, what I taught you. And he said he was so scared and shy that he was going to, I'll never forget this story. He posted it everywhere. He said, "I went to a networking event," and he goes, "before I got all of these tips, went to a network event, he got out of the car and he got scared and jumped in the car and went home. He didn't even go to the networking event. He was so shy. And after this, he went to the networking event, he tried these tips, and now he's like an amazing networker. Like, it changed everything for him. And here's my book, Networking with Heart. You can go there and find it on Amazon. I give the profits to my nonprofit, which helps business owners who have lost things in, like, the Asheville hurricane and the fires in California, and so on. So anyway, I am going to stop the share here, and I'm going to bring Sherry on real quick. And if you have, let's see, let me bring Sherry on. Oh, I'm not on the spotlight either. Can you spotlight? Oh, there I am. I'm still there.
I spotlighted you.
Oh, you did. Okay. We only have a few minutes, and I want to make sure I can get questions in. But Sherry, I know that I met you in and you have taken it to a whole other level of following up and staying in touch. And I just want you to tell real quick your story of how your commercial plumbing company, how you have secured all these multi-million-dollar contracts by your system, and how you stay in touch with everyone.
Yeah. Because we live in a noisy world, and I am in construction, and it was like I had to do that one thing to set me apart from all those other plumbing contractors out there. It's like the emails were not getting through, the text messages, the calls, dating myself, but the faxes, it's like, what can I do? And it wasn't until I started sending cards. Well, I've been a card sender my whole entire life, but it was really a game changer when I met Sue and started using these cards. They were so amazing. Like Sue talked about the cards. We'd go to a networking event, and it would be the contractor would hand me cards, right? Hey, get a hold of us. We'd love to get you on the bid list. We would do what they said. We would email, we would call, we'd do all that. Nothing would happen. So I started sending the cards that said, hey, met you guys at the Builders Exchange. Look forward to connecting more, right? That's all I would say. And we would get this phone call. It's like, oh my God, we just got this card from you. Who's your estimator? So I would get on the phone and it's like, I'd ask them, it's like, we've emailed you, we've texted you. And they're like, Sherry, you know how many emails we get? But who gets a card in the mail? So I send probably 13 touches a year to all of my clients, my prospects, everybody I work with. And because of that, we do land multi-million-dollar jobs. And my contractors are the first ones to tell you it's because Sherry will not let us forget about her. I stay top of mind with them for everything. I will send cards for birthdays and holidays, or, hey, I'm really sorry I was a beep, 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 beep the other day on the job site, right? Just whatever, just to let people know I appreciate them. So I just want you to know, like Sue was saying throughout this whole presentation, what can you do to set yourself apart? That is the big thing. Set yourself apart and just continue to reach out in kindness and be in a, and we're in a place right now where gratitude is so much more important now than ever. Appreciate people. I mean, I don't have a revolving door with even employees. My employees stay. And I've got grown men crying because they've never received a birthday card from an employer.
Wow.
I mean, it's just huge. So, I mean, I have so many stories about this, which is why I do a Fortune is in the follow-up training, kind of it piggybacks to this. And I go through a lot of different strategies that I use with a lot of different people. So, and that inspired this book. So Sue did her book, and this book is actually relationship marketing, how to stand out and stay top of mind, right? This particular one is for construction, but it really is for anybody. So what can you do? Keep loving on people. They're going to come back. I had a contractor who we've done over, in 20 years, we've done over $100 million with this one contractor out of referrals and stuff. And he said, he picked up my book and he emailed me and he said, Sherry, he says, you've reminded us what we should have never let go of is how people make you feel. And your team is a rock star. You guys are amazing. You guys, we love working with you. And I kind of put it in the book about them because, you know, people were taking low bids because that's just kind of the world we live in. And then it got them to think about it. It's like low bids don't cut it. It's the people who know you, like you, trust you, appreciate you.
100%.
Pretty powerful. When I got that email from him, it was like, whoa.
Yeah. So if you want to, I'm going to tell all you guys to connect with Sherry. She's like the relationship marketing expert. I worked with her and she's surpassed me. She's amazing. So everybody should be connecting with her. I posted in the chat the actual links of all those things I showed you on the other screen. Oh, I didn't. My learn from Sue. Just go to my thing. But if you go to fill out that feedback form, everyone, and let us know if you want to be informed on any other events that we have going on. You really want to attend Sherry's follow-up and effective one-to-one meetings. They're really good. She's bringing those back. We're bringing back a lot of events that we haven't done before. Also, tomorrow, I posted it in the chat. Tomorrow, okay? That is my ideal customer referral. I'm doing it live tomorrow. There is a recording. I gave you the recording too, but come live tomorrow. It's in the morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. And I just saw someone who's on here from Nebraska. Go Big Red. Yay, yay, yay. I grew up there. We'll have to connect. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. I tried to connect with everyone so you didn't have to use your connection credit. Sherry posted her calendar link if you want to talk to her. She also hosts events to teach people about the cards if you're interested in that. But go out there and try those tips. Did you guys all get something out of it today? Yeah? Okay, good. I'm so happy. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Sherry, thanks for being on and sharing your story. I love it. And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.